Does anybody else get this overwhelming feeling of being lost in their life? Even for me, after making millions of dollars in my 20s, I am constantly going through these waves where I have no clue what's going on. I got no idea what I'm gonna be doing in the future, and it really starts to stress me out. Especially when we're living in this era where I go on my phone, I go on social media, and I see all these kids who just look like they have everything figured out. I think a lot of people look at me this way. I think a lot of people go to my YouTube channel and they see me as somebody who's got it all figured out. Somebody who is just crystal clear on his vision and knows exactly what he wants to do. But this is not the truth. I think I am more similar to you guys in this regard than you know. I'm somebody that is constantly going through these phases that I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next year. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in 5 years. That's actually one of my least favorite questions when people ask me. They're like, oh, what's your 5-year plan? I don't know. Does anybody really know the answer to that question? I think anytime somebody answers that question, they're really just pretending and they're just trying to put on a front to look cool. But does anybody really confidently have an answer to these questions of what is your 5-year plan? I know I don't. You couldn't even have told me 5 years ago that I'd be in this position that I'm in today. I would have got excited if you told me that I would have sold my company for millions of dollars and have close to 2 million subscribers on YouTube. But I also probably would have been like, all right, bro, that's a little ambitious of you to think that of me. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to say is that if you are watching this video and you are somebody who feels lost or stuck in your life, you're not alone. And I will give you guys a couple solutions to this that help me get out of these ruts. But before I say that, I just want to say that I don't think that it ever goes away. I think that you have seasons where you feel like you know exactly what's going on. And you have seasons where you're crystal clear about everything you're doing. But then, well, you have seasons like this one that I'm in right now after selling my company where I don't really know what's next. I've got a lot of opportunities on my plate. I've got a lot of options of things to focus on, yet I couldn't confidently tell you that this is exactly the thing that I'm going to be doing. But the beautiful part of it, and this is the first thing I want to talk about, the beautiful part of it is as humans, we have control over our future. So therefore, if you are presented with a multitude of options, you get to choose which one you want to do. Isn't that the most beautiful thing ever? You have the freedom to do exactly what you want to do. Some of you guys are constrained by time and money and resources, and that's okay. You can get out of that situation. But regardless of that situation, you still have the choice to choose what you want to do in your free time and choose what you want to build towards. So when you're going through these moments of feeling lost in your life, you have to begin to make a choice of what you want to do. And this is the position that I'm in right now. I've got all these options in front of me of new businesses to start. I've got all these people asking me to come partner with them, start a new thing. I've got all these YouTube videos that I want to shoot. But in the reality, I have to pick one or the other. I can't try to do all of them at once, or none of them are ever gonna come into fruition. So to get out of this feeling of being lost, the first thing we gotta do is we gotta make a choice. So for me, we're having all these options on my plate. Very soon, I'm gonna have to make a choice on which thing I'm gonna focus on over the next couple months and years. The second thing we gotta start building up is our faith. Every time I feel lost in my life, I think that is directly correlated with an emotion called fear. When we get lost in the middle of a forest, we are scared because we don't know what's gonna happen. To be lost simply means to be fearful of what's to come. If you felt fully confident about where you were in your life, you wouldn't perceive it as lost. You would just say, oh, this is where I'm at, I'm figuring it out. The word lost literally means I'm scared, I don't know what's going on, I'm trying to figure out what to do next. So we need to make a decision on what we want to do, and then we need to have the faith to see that thing through. You guys overwhelmed me with comments on my most recent video on his channel, telling me to build a stronger relationship with God. And I appreciate each and every one of you for that message, because it almost felt like the Lord was speaking to me through you guys. Thousands and thousands of comments of people telling me to get closer to Christ. That's something that I genuinely appreciated, and that is a journey that I am embarking on heavily and will keep you guys updated on. Everybody tell me to read the book of Ecclesiastes, so that's where my journey is really beginning at right now. But faith doesn't always have to be tied to religion. You can have faith simply by existing and knowing that you're going to be okay. Think about getting in a car. Every time you drive a car, you got faith. You got faith that Billy driving on the other lane is not gonna take a 2-inch turn and kill you in the car. That's faith. You need to be able to have this same level of faith in your actions, in your business, and in your life. So if you're feeling lost, it's because you haven't chosen what you wanna do, and typically because you have no faith, you're completely living in fear, and you genuinely got no idea of how you're gonna make it out of this situation. The last thing that has helped me get out of these situations, and I'm really just dumping these thoughts because I know that's gonna help me move forward in my life, just sharing these things with you guys. The last thing that I think helps me out of these situations when I feel this way is just starting and taking action. If I feel lost, and I'm gonna use the analogy again, if I feel lost in the middle of the forest, but I'm standing still, do you think that's gonna make me feel any better at all? No. The only way that I'm possibly gonna feel better is if I start walking, if I start making a move somewhere in some direction. From that, maybe I'll get some clues of how to get out of the forest. Maybe I'll find some food, maybe I'll find some water. Maybe I will find the exit of the forest. If I'm stuck in my life, the same is true. So if I'm sitting still, living in fear, and not making a decision of what I want to do, I'm gonna stay lost forever. And then my whole life is gonna breeze by me, and I'm gonna be 47 years old, straight up living in regret, because I stood there like a little baby saying, oh, I'm so lost in my life. And the reality is, that's what you guys are gonna do. A lot of you guys are gonna do that. And I'm not even trying to be mean to you. It's just statistically proven that only so many people go on to be successful and accomplish their dreams. And they live their whole life with this feeling of being lost. Now, I don't wanna sit here and say that I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost, because the things that we say become who we are. The things that we say become true. Like, that's why they call it spelling, because when we say words, we is literally casting spells out into the world. The words that we use are magic. They are brainwashing us. So if you're always sitting there saying, oh, boo-hoo, I'm so lost. Oh, I'm so stuck in my life. I don't know what I want to do. You are just making that the reality. But if you say, hey, you know what? I'm figuring this out right now, and I want to do this thing, and I'm going to figure out how to make this thing happen. Suddenly, your whole energy changes. Suddenly, your whole momentum shifts in the direction of figuring that thing out. So even though I titled this video that way, and even though that is how I feel right now, how we feel is not a reflection of who we are. Feelings are simply temporary, and we can change our feelings in the snap of a finger. If I film this video right now and say I feel lost, but then I leave this video, I get out my little journal, I write out 10 business ideas that I'm super excited about, I pick one, and I start walking in the direction of building that business, within about an hour and a half, I no longer feel lost anymore. That's how simple it is to get out of this prison. And the last thing that I'm gonna talk about in this video is these mental prisons that we make for ourselves. In the last video that I made on this channel, I said that I was depressed. And now in this video, I'm saying that I'm lost. Now these terms are simply feelings. That's how I was feeling that day. I'm not depressed today. I was feeling lost this morning. After this video, I'm gonna start taking action, and I'm not gonna be feeling lost. You need to stop putting those labels on yourself as absolute truth, because they're not true. I get so tired of hearing my friends and my family and my subscribers coming up to me telling me these absolute truths that are simply facades that they're putting on themselves. Oh, I'm such an anxious person. I always have anxiety all the time. I'm such a depressed person. Oh, I'm a failure. Everything in my life is always failing. It's like, bro, okay, there's a man who thinks he's right and there's a man who thinks he's wrong, and they're both right. It's just how you look at the situation that makes it the reality. So when I say that I'm feeling lost, I'm simply saying that that's how I feel right now. And I'm simply saying that even after making millions of dollars and becoming a successful young kid, it happens. I bet you can pick the most superstar person that you could think of. Tom Brady, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, whatever. These guys are probably feeling the same thing. But the difference between them and you is that they don't let it dictate their entire life. And more importantly, they don't let it dictate their actions. They simply pick a path to move forward, have faith that that thing is going to work, and then start walking and get to work on that thing. And that will get you out of feeling lost. That'll get you unstuck in any situation. Thank you guys for subscribing to this channel. I'm gonna keep dropping more videos here whenever I feel like it. There's no schedule involved. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I don't know how to end the video.